I am Ann-Peggy Divine. Welcome to the Divine Design, the podcast where we unfold heaven on earth and reframe spirituality and theology for a new cosmic era. Your journey on human evolution and integration of your divine design starts here. As a quiet extension of what I'm sharing here, you may have heard me speak about the architecture series. These books are now available for those who feel ready to go deeper. The Architecture of Light, The Architecture of Future Medicine, The Architecture of the Living Ethos, The Architecture of Peace, The Architecture of Karma, The Architecture of Sisterhood. Alongside these, 2 trilogy volumes brings the series together. The Architecture of Life, Trilogy 1, and The Architecture of Humanity, Trilogy 2. Each book explores a different aspect of how life organizes itself when survival patterns are no longer in control, and a new architecture begins to emerge. If you feel resonance, you can find them on Lulu and on my websites, divinedesign.it and anpeggydivine.com. Namaste. Welcome, Bjørnar from Livsspeilet, the mirror of life.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Ann-Peggy. Livsspeilet, that's my small company, small clinic, yes.
Yeah.
Doing therapy work.
Yeah, and I just met you a month or two. It was a friend of me that told me about you, and we can go into in the end of it what you and a group have started. But you have had a clinic for so many years, you have worked with people, and you want to help them to transform, to ascend, to come through all the stuff we carry.
That is right. You said ascend, and then you point my thoughts to ascension. Very short in the beginning. We live in ascension times.
Yeah.
And what is ascension times? How I understand it, this is the incarnation where we have very much opportunities for growth, inner growth. We have to show in a way, demonstrate that we have learned our lessons, and where we are not masters yet, we get up those things in our lives now.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of help, and the energies, the frequencies, and from cosmos, everything is very much supporting inner growth now.
Yeah, it is.
That it is, and but I'm a little bit worried for my point of view. We have to do the inner job. We have to do the work ourselves.
Yeah.
There are some people that are in a way sitting there suffering. This is impression I have. Suffering through some challenges and say this is ascension symptoms, and think that things will change by themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe it will do some of the things, but my point of view, what I'm working with and conscious about is to face the everyday challenges we have.
Yep.
That is the highway to heaven.
It is.
Yes, because life is presenting to us exactly what we need to work on.
Yep. All the time.
Yes. And it's coming from ourselves,
Yes. That too. Yeah. It's coming from ourselves.
Yes. So
and we are so supportive because before we start this podcast, both of us talked about we were stopped in something, kind of a lot of resistance. And I had one of them yesterday, and it was, why is this resistance? And I felt it in my stomach, and I live with the belief that everything is for me. Everything is for me. So I knew it was for me, even though I really wanted this. And then today I saw why, and it's like, wow, I'm so protected. It was actually a protection of me.
Yes, it's very true. We have to be open to listen to these signals we are
Yeah,
getting.
yeah,
It's all in our mental field, you can say, spiritual field. Uh, but when we are not able to listen, and when we are not open enough, we believe too much in whatever dream I have to follow. Um, we have to go through the experience to learn, right?
yeah,
We have to learn through the experiences, and if it is in our mental field many years, that is actually the mirroring back to us, right?
yeah,
That is the mirror of life, livsspeilet. That what's happening to us is the mirroring back from what we are sending out.
yeah,
And if you are not able to do something about it, okay, you meet challenges, but in the next step, if it's too long enough in the field, mental field, it comes to our body. We get sick.
yeah,
It's also a mirroring back to us.
yeah.
And there's, yeah, then you have to see what do I have to learn here?
But yeah, and that's fascinating because what we now see, I every week I hear I have cancer, I have tumor, I have this. I It's so many sicknesses that are presented to us.
Yes, yes.
So maybe you can start. What is the all the sickness? What is it saying to us?
Yeah, that's a big question. Um, but the ways I am working, for example, in my little clinic, one of the methods I'm using is called life alignment.
Yeah,
It's how to get our life on alignment.
yeah,
I can go back to the when I was in my 40s. I was in Oslo. I was working as an engineer, but I quit and I followed my passion, you can say.
yeah,
I didn't like the job I had there. I was studying psychosynthesis for 3 years,
yeah,
which is one direction in psychology, you know.
yeah, yeah,
It's the psychology with soul, a very good one. And this, so I always had interest for psychology, but it was same time I was taking a course in kinesiology, you know, muscle testing.
yeah,
And I saw that there was intelligence behind these answers. It was not just mechanical, yes, no, whatever. And I wanted, how can I combine these things, this intelligence that we all have access to with psychology?
yes,
And I went back to engineering, and I came to this area now, Telemark, where I live in Stathelle. Well, it's a long story. You know, I was abroad 5 years, but when I came back here, life happened. So I got the chance to study life alignment. I found this book, and it was psychology, and I can use this wisdom from the body, from our soul. So when we are working with life alignment, I took this introduction there because that is what's fascinating me really, um, because we get that unbelievable help from our spirits.
yes, yes,
It's so much quicker to find what is the issue of what you're working with, right? I can give you an example here, life alignment, how it's working.
yeah,
Because I have lots of examples, but this one here I have permission to share. It was a woman that wanted to. She was aware of a spiritual process, but she felt it had stopped up somehow. She wanted to come further in her process,
yeah,
spiritual journey. So, root cause, unconscious programming.
Yeah.
This is very broad, right? So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we know. Yeah, yeah.
but life alignment is also pointing on a body point. I have these lists, and the system is very intelligent and very complex. I can say the way I'm using to find what your higher self, what direction we want to go. I can use this one, but I'm working also online. We're using the pendulum, which is much quicker. So then this system is telling to the body point is meninges, and in English is hjernehinne, like the protection layer around the brain.
Okay.
That was the body point. And these body points, because this is a little bit back to your question, is always reflecting to what is the issue here. She wanted to protect something, and this is protecting the brain, the meninges. Anyway, I also measure the vitality of how much blocked this thing is. For her, it was 14%, which is quite low. 100% is open, beautiful. 40% is so. But from the system, we're getting some words, some words to help to show what is the problem, what is the issue. And the
Ah,
words coming up was gloomy, which is some dark. You can say mørk skummel in Norwegian.
dark
And
is scary. Yeah.
yes, scary. And that was one word, and transition was the other word. I gave these words to her, and what can you understand from these? And she, nothing. And that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But very often this is enough. The client will know what this is about. So I get some more help from the system. It's coming up age 20 years. What did you do when you were 20 years? Because this woman now was, I don't know, maybe she was about 60 when I worked with her. And that time she lived up far north in Norway. I'm pointing up in Finnmark. So she didn't remember like this. I had a boyfriend. I think she married in that time. But I'm always with. I don't have it here, this pendulum, but it's. I can always immediately. I can feel. I get in the message. Is this on the right track or not?
Yeah.
And I said it's not. Okay, what more happened? And she like, I don't remember. I was working like a maid, she said. It was actually another thing, but she worked in a house to help cleaning the house and things. And the pendulum started immediately. Something here. Tell me more, tell me more. And this was up in Finnmark. She was cleaning the house and ironing the clothes, whatever. But when she was there, she felt unease. She felt a feeling, gloomy feeling, you know. She didn't feel good. She was a scary feeling there. It came so far that she told the people in the house, there's not good energy here, and I will not work in the house unless you are home. Because this is then it's very obvious there is something.
Yeah.
So she was only working there when the people in the house were home. So that was okay. And but later on, she learned that the, the this was in North Norway, and the
Yeah.
house was built before the energy came, I think. So when the people died in the wintertime, I think they were placing the dead bodies sometimes on the loft, on the second floor,
Okay.
until the spring came and it was possible to bury in the because in the ground. In the winter it was hard, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, this she learned after. So she was picking up the energy of dead souls, you can say, ghosts.
Ah.
So that was the background story there. So she had the ability to feel these energies, so she
Y-
had closed off.
Yeah.
She had protected. And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
had
yeah.
to, yes, yes. So we had to work a little bit in the session to get her to accept, to understand. She has shut off this ability because of fear.
Yeah.
Fear of something unknown, something scary, something she cannot control, right? Uh, because she could control it herself when she would open up for these abilities and when she could close. But this was actually the main problem. She was controlling it, these energies, these abilities. So then we will work on to the next phase of the session to work with this on an emotional level, you can say. And there are many different ways. There are 30 different methods I have on my list. And I choose, okay, this is the right way. We are all the main things of the session is guided like this. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So then it was to visualize, to make a film, to make something like this. And normally it would be to go back to that time to make a new
Yeah.
story, but it
Yeah.
was not that in this time. It was now in the, you know,
Yeah.
in this present time. So it was when she was going for a trip where she was leaving, she was going this round for about 1 hour, and she said, but now she was on the bench with me, eyes closed. So she was walking there, and there was one place there. Every time she was coming there was something scary over there. She was not stopping, she was just passing. It was something scary, something she didn't know, and but when she came there in this session here, I said, stop there, focus there, and go and see what it is. But she was afraid.
Yeah.
I cannot, I'm afraid. And then we had to call in some help. Your guides can
Yeah.
support you. And she did that one, and she got help to need that, and she turned over there, and it was a man, a spirit that had died, and he was not scary. He was not dangerous at all. When she could communicate with him, he needed help.
Yeah.
And this woman had the abilities inside her, and she felt that she wanted to help this man over in the light.
Yeah.
But in a way, she had forgotten this. She told me, I don't know how to do this. And well, again, we called in the help.
Yeah.
And then she did, and she was quiet for a while. But she told me just after that she knew what to do. And it was like a portal opening above the person. And she saw some beings, some light beings there, and light, and this spirit, this man was going up in the light
Yeah.
and was greeted with up there. And when she came back, to the room, and she felt so good, it was such a big experience for her.
Yeah.
So she had shut off that ability, and the fear. What is the most dangerous with the fear is the fear itself, right?
Yeah.
Because behind fear, it's light, it's expansion, it's freedom. And one thing more I can mention with this happening there, because I met this woman again, I don't know, a couple of months later. And she told me something very interesting because after that session with me, she was going this trip. She was taking this 1 hour trip. And when she came to this place that was scary, it was peaceful. It was quiet. So it was a beautiful story.
Yeah. And I love your story because it's like, wow, we work very similar because I do the same and I have started to do it online. And I call it regression therapy because it is a regression. You go back to when you were a child, if you were 20, whatever. And first you take this life, and sometimes they go beyond. They just feel, they don't understand why they feel, but it isn't in this life, but because we carry much more in this than this life. So and I see so many miracles happening, and their life changed radically after you have relief all this stuff we are carrying.
That's right. That's right. And a lots of our stuff is originating from previous lives.
Yeah, it is. It's connected.
And we choose the family. We know which family we are born into
Yeah.
to get our issues maybe
Yeah.
to really be very visible,
Yeah.
very problematic, you can say. And then we come into another point. The suffering
Yeah.
has its value, and that is to get us to it's motivating us
Yeah.
to go deeper, to go inside, to take action.
Yeah.
And that was my point in the beginning, Don't sit, accept the suffering. Do something about it.
Yeah.
Find a good therapist, go inside, check your unconscious.
but I have to say something because there are so many saying, I want to do something, but I don't know what to do. And there are so many saying that. And I have had contact with one of the soul that have said it a lot. I tried really for 2 years and I went so deep. And it is Tim Bergling. Have you heard about Tim Bergling, the Avicii, the Swedish artist? Okay, he committed suicide in 2018. And he was very famous. He wrote a lot of songs, and he had a lot of anxiety, so much anxiety. And he was born in Stockholm, lived in Stockholm, and then he had his tour. But he was seeking the stone in his stomach because he had this ache and this anxiety all the time, and all around him tried to help him, but nothing helped. So it ended that after 2 years that he committed suicide. So even though he really tried and he went deep into Buddhism, so he had the answer there. But it's all about, do you have a regulated nervous system? So his nervous system, he never could find that totally peace he was seeking. So it goes into, as you say, our body. So he had the answer, but he also, because there are so many information about Tim Bergling, and as a little boy he was so sensitive, he was so shy, all this, so he felt it as a baby, as a child, so he lived with it until he committed suicide. So he is one example of many that say, I really want to change it, but I don't know how. I will do it if I just know how.
No, these things we are dealing with they are very complex.
Yeah, they are.
The way I am drawn to work with it is the mental side of it, the spiritual side of it. A healer is maybe, or going more directly to the physical part of it. But we have different approaches, and all have their value.
Yeah, yeah.
What you are saying there, the anxiety, but we have all our deep controlling programs.
Yep.
Which we are struggling against the whole life. If you don't get to know these ones, it's very difficult to progress.
Yeah, it is.
And then you come to one of my other methods that, in a way, I have set together this program based on a weekend channeling retreat I was on.
Yeah.
So it's not me who have coming with a system, but it's me who have set it together to a system. I'm calling the ego strategy approach. So I can tell a little bit about this because you have an issue, right?
Yeah.
And there are certain questions here. This is going over 4 weeks. Certain questions. The first question can be, what is this program? No, not program. What is this issue? This problem?
Yeah.
Stopping you in life, hindering you from doing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's it can be thousands of things. It's hindering me, stopping me from meeting people in social life.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
If that is the issue, it's normally exactly what the ego is wanting to achieve.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have two thought systems,
Mm.
And there's another story how the ego was originated. That's very interesting. But we have the Holy Spirit mind, the higher self, and we have the ego.
Yeah.
So when we have a difficult situation, typically in childhood, the ego is coming up with a strategy to stop this from happening again.
Yep.
In the beginning, you can remember this, but the years go by and it's difficult material stuff.
Yeah.
You forget about it.
Yeah.
So the first question is how this is stopping you. And the next question can be what are you doing yourself to sustain this one, maintain it, So why is it still a problem after 20 years? What are you doing every day in your habits or also thought patterns? That's one question. I don't have the question. Say this is going over 4 weeks, and between every week you get homework, but that is like to observe yourself.
Yeah.
And these things there. And another of the questions is how is this? What's the question? I don't have. How is this protecting you? You can say. How is it
Yeah.
protecting you?
Yeah.
What like? And it's protecting me from okay, I'm sitting home because I feel like I don't go social. I sit home. It's protecting me from meeting people that can hurt me.
Yeah.
So you're doing it to yourself, and we are going deeper and deeper and deeper, and then we come to, I will call it the controlling program underneath, which is before you start to work on this, is unconscious. For example, I am unworthy.
Yeah.
Nobody will love me. And when you see the whole process from the problem from every day, and you see it very clearly during 3 weeks, then we make a new program that is going exactly 100% against the negative program and make a positive program.
Yeah.
And then you're changing something deep in your mind.
Yeah.
And it's big results from this one here. So it's interesting. I
I
have
also, yeah.
no, I have examples, but I don't have to go into that.
Yeah, and it's because we have so many similarity, because when I was guided to Lingen, I was guided to start a program. And I started the program and it became 13 module. It's like, wow, it became much more than I had thought. And so it is more than a year program. And that, what you are describing, it is the same, because it is a reset. You kind of reset your mental programming. So we go deep into the emotion, what you have experienced. And I also teach ceremonies, because I don't know if you have work with ceremonies, but I see that when we do ceremonies, it is kind of connecting with our soul, and we take in all our helpers and we embody it in a new way. So ceremony is because when I started my journey, or not, it wasn't when I started it, but 2nd of April 2017, I woke up and I had a clear guidance. So I just said, you have to do a ceremony, and a private ceremony. So I did a private ceremony in 2017, kind of saying yes to live as my highest, kind of my soul mission, not from my ego, and give kind of. So when I get stopped, I know that there's someone protecting me, kind of, even though I want the ego. Because all of us need to live with our ego, because we think we can just erase it. With ego, we need the ego also, because it is a lot of good things, because we talk about the ego that is just something awful. No, it is not. So we need the ego, but it is to have the ego in balance. So how to come to the place where we have the ego in balance, where we are aligned, as you say, where we kind of, all the dimension of us are aligned. So that's the most, and I used several years. I was in the dark night of the soul, the hero's journey and all this, and it was pain. Pain. And first of all the pain from this life that I experienced as a child, highly sensitive. And then when I was finished, there came a lot of other pain, and it was from past life. So I thought, this will never end. It felt like it will never end, because first of all, you do all your life, and then suddenly a lot of other pain, and wow, this, and you get glimpses from past life. So it can be overwhelming. I understand, because I myself felt like it was overwhelming.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The ego should be in the backseat in our lives, but for many people that are unconscious about this, it's in the front seat. They are reacting according to ego and fear and greed and whatever. Yes.
Yeah, and can you share? I don't know. This is kind of spontaneous. Do you have an example, or share something? How can we distinguish the ego, the kind of the small ego, from the big ego.
What is the big ego?
The big ego, when I say small ego, we cannot call it the big ego. Well, small ego, it is the kind of the frightened one, and the soul.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah.
yes. Well, the ego is the ego. The ego is here to protect us, to
Yep.
protect what it has created, to
Yeah.
protect our body from dying.
Yep.
So when you're chased by a lion, right, the ego will tell you run.
Yeah.
But the inner fears, when we are in, your question was how to distinguish.
Yeah.
When you have a decision to take, for example, what is the motivation behind this? Take a paper, right? Is it motivated by fear, by greed? Is it limiting you to stay away from things, controlling? It's from ego for sure. But if it's expanding, joy, happiness, freedom, it's from the higher self. It is. And when you do something, you have to maybe go out of the comfort zone and you
Yeah.
follow your true guiding,
Yeah.
and you do it, you have such a good feeling afterwards.
Yeah, but at the same time, it kind of activated an anxiety and it's kind of nervousness, because this is actually big for us. It is the soul guiding us, but we need to go out of the comfort zone.
Yes. Hmm. But have you heard a story about how ego was created?
No, I don't think so.
This is from channeling also. I got it directly from, because one of the channels I'm listening to a lot is Tina Louise Spalding,
Okay.
channeling Jesus. She, in my view, in my point of view, probably the best, clearest channel in the world, channeling Jesus. It's her
Okay.
life mission. She has you can find her on YouTube, channelingjesus.com. I asked in the live stream directly this question to Jesus, and he gave an answer to me. So let's see if I can remember it. But when we are in unity,
Yep.
we are surrounded in God's peace and love, and we have a wish. I want to experience how it is to be on my own, to decide everything myself. I want to see how it is outside of this
Yeah.
beautiful space.
Yeah.
And he gave us the free, he gave us the free will.
Yeah.
He had the free will and gave us the permission, you can say. And we jumped out of the safe space, and there it was. Then it was a shock for us, really, really big shock. What have I done now? I have what is the word? I have skuffet noen. I have disappointed
Yeah.
the father, or what you will call him. A lot of bad feelings coming up.
Yeah.
What have I done now? This is a shock. And all these new feelings, bad feelings, negative feelings needed a place to stay. It was no place for those feelings in the unity. So ego was created.
Ah.
And it was painful, and we had to hide it from others. It was shameful, and we had to hide it for ourselves. So the ego was then creating its own universe to live the illusion. So the separation, they say, and I believe it more and more that I work, is the mother of all problems we have here
Yeah.
in
It
the
is.
core, in the center.
Yeah.
Because of this initial, it can be, the story in the Garden of Eden, right? Probably it's the same happening they are describing when we. So that makes sense for me. And in this, our bodies here is created by our ego, and our five senses, five main senses created by ego, and everything we see is confirming to us that this is real. You know, this mouse is real, and your body is real. But to come, so it to rely only on our five senses, you cannot come back from this place we are here. We have to use this sense number 6 and the sense number 7.
Yep. Agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you understand the.
Yeah, and you pointed at something kind of, it is so easy because you said she is the clearest channel of Jesus. I had channeled Jesus a lot, and the next book I'm now into Weltschmerz, kind of the habitus, and we feel all this, the pain, kind of, we call it the ego. So, and just writing this book was pain. I felt it in my body. So it has been, it's the deepest book that I have written now, because it is how we are programmed and how we really feel, and how the highly sensitive, why I felt it so much that I, as a 5 years old, needed to close my heart because it was so painful. So the habitus and the habitat that we are born in, and our ancestor and what all we carry, kind of, it becomes so hurtful that we have to close our heart to protect ourselves. So anyhow, this book I'm deep into, but so I had to.
What was the name of that book, you said?
Weltschmerz. Weltschmerz, it is the world sorrow. We carry the world sorrow, so we have a name. So this book, it is, when this book I have seen that this will really be a book that, of all the books I have written, is actually the most significant, because then we understand what we feel. We don't have a name for it. It is Weltschmerz. All the programming, all what we live in, it is Weltschmerz, because we feel it. The sixth sense, it feels all that we have experienced. And it was actually Tim Bergling that came, you have to write Weltschmerz. That's what you have the solution I was seeking for. And yeah. So Weltschmerz is the word.
I want to read it, but what is that word in Norwegian?
It is Weltschmerz. It is a German word. When actually what we do, no, it is a German word. And Norway, England, all countries use the Weltschmerz. So we can see world sorrow or verdenssorg in Norwegian. But it is, we use the Weltschmerz.
I see.
So this is what we have talking about. But I had to choose, should I write this first or the other book? Because Jesus has given me the title, and I will not give the title that Jesus have given me. But I will say it maybe in a month, I don't know. But that is a book where Jesus describes how all the paths, not all because it is thousands, but so many paths, how we can live with enlightenment, because it is not just one path. What Jesus wanted to show us, it is the inner journey, but it can be done in thousands of ways. So this is the next, but now since this Weltschmerz went so deep, and when I wrote it, the deepest, I need to put all the windows up, the doors, because I felt the Weltschmerz so, and I had to have music on my ears and dancing and then writing a little more, because it was so, yeah, I really felt it, so I was into it.
When is it coming out?
Well, I'm just in the middle, and I'm hoping to finish it this week.
Wow.
But I don't know, because it went so much deeper than all the other books that I have. Because the other books, it's more about enlightenment, and it's amazing, it's beautiful. But here is more to describe why do we feel the pain we feel. So it goes into hell. So this goes into hell, and what we have created, what our ancestors have carried, what all the collective print that it's around us. And Stockholm, wow. Okay, I can give an example, because I give this in the book. When I came to Stockholm first time, it's 2 years ago, 2024. I came by plane, and the plane came down, and when I went out of the plane, my heart started, and my heart was so stress heart, and I felt all this anxiety, and I thought, wow, is Stockholm this frenetic kind of, because it is a big town. And Tim Bergling, Greta Thunberg, a lot of people are born into this. And it's no wonder that they have a stone in their stomach, because they are born into this field. So all this day, when I slept there for 2 nights in a hotel in the midst of Stockholm, all night I worked with the energy, and I had to puke and I had to go to the bathroom because the energy was so dense. So the whole first night I just worked with energy, worked with energy, worked with energy. And my Swedish friend said, "What did you do this night?" I said, "This is so heavy." And then the other next night I could sleep a little bit. But this is a good example about what wet smells do to us. And we that are highly sensitive, we feel it before, because we are born into it. And then we say, oh, this is normal. We think it is normal, but we feel it.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, so this is an important book about how we have created hell on earth.
Yeah. And you said we have the inner things working and working. There's so much. And I think it will be so much until we are ready to leave this place. Because when we are masters, we have finished our task, you can say, here. It's a learning place.
Yeah. And I had, because it was full moon, 31st of May to 1st of June, and I did a ceremony. I like doing ceremony because then I look at the collective future. And then we are already kind of, it's happening so much light, as you know. But then I was shown that in 2033, then the tipping point is totally. So from 2033, then we will have even more flow. We have flow now, but then it is radically changing. So more and more of us are living into, as I call, homo luminous.
I see. Yes, the ascension times is pouring in energy, so the amount of light is increasing.
Yeah.
But this is the reason why we can see so much dark if we want to look at it, because it has to come up to the surface before it can to awaken people and to change it.
Yeah.
Yes. I can mention, you mentioned Jesus, and I mentioned Jesus also. My teachers for the last 7 years is actually mainly Jesus and Ananda.
Yeah.
I'm not getting clear like you, like a channel. But I have 3-4 times per week channelings and books and questions, and also have one-to-one sessions with them. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And Jesus and Ananda, they are behind that ego strategy program. And another one is Sina, with ex-Xena, is one woman, Carol Morgan. She is behind another of all these 3 systems are mainly working with their channel systems.
Yeah.
She is behind one of them, and this guy behind Life Alignment, Jeff Levine, he has taken down the whole program from light civilization, he says.
Yeah.
So they're helping us.
Yeah. We have so much help.
We have so much help. And of course, the life itself, that is our teacher.
Yeah, and when I channel Jesus, it is not so much conversation. It is direct experience. So I feel it in my body. So I have felt so much when I ask for guidance, I feel it in my body. So I remember one time several years ago, I don't remember what I asked, but he showed me pain, and he showed me his pain body. And it was so cruciating, and I started to cry and I couldn't breathe because it was so painful. And I said, you couldn't possibly live with this pain. But he did. And it's like, wow. And I saw kind of when he was slaughtered before he was hang on the cross. And this pain was so cruciating. It was like, how is it possible to live with this kind of pain? Because it's all the pain before you die. You die in pain, kind of. And that was so cruciating. So most of the teaching I got from Jesus is experiential. It's not in my head, so I feel it.
Because I don't know if I understood you correctly, but Jesus through Tina is also talking about the experience on cross, and from that teaching, he did not feel pain. he was already a master of the physical, and he was out of the.
Yeah, but he can choose. Do I choose to be in? Because what he showed me, what the body was symbol. So if he was in the consciousness of the body, he showed me this pain.
Yeah.
But I agree, you can, because I also have done it, and I was shown this several years ago because I had so much pain, and then I just went out of this pain, and I thought, can we do it in seconds? Having so extremely pain, and in seconds just switch like Jesus did.
Yeah. But
So,
this is what people are identifying with, the pain and all that suffering.
yeah, but it is fascinating that in a shift we can go from extreme, it's kind of, we feel like we are dying from this pain because it is cruciating, and in second it is totally gone. And if I hadn't experienced this on my own body, I wouldn't believe it, because it's kind of it cannot be.
Yes.
So I'm glad that I have experience, so I know that in second, because it's like, oh, that's woo woo, it's easy to say it is woo woo. Yeah.
Maybe I will tell a little bit about the third method I'm working after, because some of the things we are talking about now is connected to that.
Yeah.
I call it the breaking free. When you have an issue, the first thing, if you really want to be able to do something with it, is to accept that you have this one. And because if you deny it, it's not my problem. You're blocking the healing, a lot of it. If you accept it, it's coming from myself, creating this myself. I have this is part of me. I don't understand why it's there, but I'm accept it. I don't like it, but I accept it. Radical acceptance. And if at the same time you can appreciate it, then your frequency, you are ready for the next to change this one. But if you're denying it, they are so bad to me, you have to come over that phase. That's the first thing, to accept and appreciate. And then the next thing is to see on the belief systems you have around this issue. Very short, I can go into a little bit of what I have. I have a lot. I have done this one maybe 30 things in my life, and it's beautiful. But one of the things I remember, I will not go in too much in detail, but you can say I was scammed for some money, and it was one day, Saturday, I think. I was going on my own out in the nature, sitting down, and in the beginning there, I said, "You idiots!
Yeah.
You cheat me for money here."
Yeah.
But okay, I have to do this breaking free. I accept it, and I could accept it because I have other issues with money. Maybe not scam, but similar in a way. I've been investing in things that was not really worth to invest. Something I had some issue of investing here, and that's not always going good. I thought it was a pattern, so I accept it. I accepted it 100%. It's coming from myself because I have this theory, I have these teachings also, and I appreciate it, because when I appreciate it, I open up to the unconscious and the belief systems, but typically that money is the root to all evil. I identify
Yeah.
a lot of money with mafia, criminals.
Yeah.
And you cannot trust strangers contacting me. And these things were all elements in the story I just had behind me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was creating these things, and also this, if you have a lot of money in this life, you're successful, you need we grow up to get a good job. If you can earn a lot of money, you have a position here. You are,
Yeah.
these things there. That was the belief systems I was clarifying for myself. So I saw there was a pattern, or how I could create it myself. And then the next part is forgiveness. And forgiveness, I call it true forgiveness. Then you have to come to the understanding that what I am experiencing is coming from myself.
Mm.
I am creating this one. It's a reflecting universe. It's not something happening to me by chance. I'm bad luck.
Yeah.
This is crucial. This is very, very important in the forgiveness process. So from going there, from sitting there, you idiots out there, come on. I did this process. I could see these other incidents in my life, happenings, experiences that it was coming. It was all these things. They were trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
It was trying to tell me something. It was actually aspects of myself, unhealed aspects of myself that I was sending out, projecting out.
Yeah.
And it was shown to me in one way, another way, same frequency, different form. So when I saw this one, and I was in a way forgiving myself for believing these lies, these belief systems I told you, I'm believing these lies. I forgive myself for that. And I was forgiving myself for actually creating all these difficult situations for myself. In that process, I was going from being angry to say thank you.
Yeah.
And I could see it, this separation, because it was me here. I was the right guy. I was doing everything correct. I would no, and they were the bad guys. They were coming in.
Yeah. Waking you.
And that was healing of the separation.
Yeah.
It was so clear. It was healing of the separation. I was thinking of that story I told you about ego. And then I had peace. I was said thank you to those guys, and I had peace in my heart. And I was accepting to see this. I'm so blind, but so and then I could next part. There are actually 9 parts of this process, and the next is to forgive the other part. But that was no issue anymore.
Yeah.
Because they were just part of my play. They were role players.
Yep.
So it was very fascinating that story there. And for now, there's no chance that somebody can come with the same. Now I will do the work. Now I will invest in what is real for me, what is really worthwhile using my energy on, my money on.
Yeah.
And this is the same process this is the same process for most of our problems. We deny that we make it ourselves, and we project it.
Yep.
And we create this is separation is. And I can say, sorry.
Yeah, I want to add an element into your story, because you say we have created it ourselves, kind of the pain. It is, we created it, the situation. And it is something I have learned a lot working in child protective service, because it's very extreme. It is violent. It is actually people getting killed. So it is hard. I have been in so many situations that is kind of, how did you survive? Because so I remember walking one week, total week, 7 days, day and night. And after this week, I was exhausted because I have absorbed. It was crazy time, destroying a house, burning, and it was crazy. After this week, my body collapsed and I had so much pain. So what I want is, because you say we create everything ourselves. Well, we that are highly sensitive, yes, you can say that we create it, but when I worked in child protective service for so many years, what I really learned, I took in all the people I work with, all the system. So when I could stand in it for a week, kind of, an extreme week. And then my body just collapsed. I couldn't stand. My feet couldn't hold me. It was kind of so heavy energy that I have absorbed from the situation. So it was kind of... And then since I have learned, I healed myself. But if I didn't know how to heal myself, it could be... So when you say we create it, it is all ours. It is not exactly all ours, because we take in others. So that's what I have learned really from these hard years, that I absorb it all. And yeah, so, but I learned through it. So I'm glad, because it was so painful that it was kind of, suddenly I couldn't stand on my feet. It couldn't hold me. So I was kind of invalid. It was kind of, everything was out of me. So it was fascinating. So standing in it for a week, extreme, I mean really extreme, then your body kind of is so affected that you kind of collapse.
I understand what you say, and it's very complex, the whole thing. You know, we feel very individual units here,
Yep.
but in one level, and we are one. We are connected, and we have many lives. And for you that are very, what did you say, sensitive, very, you have ability to tap into that higher. Yeah, I understand. So that's a little bit. I understand what you say. You don't create it directly, but
You absorb other oil. So that's what the book about wealth smash is, because we think, yes, we have seen that all is for us, because Jesus is a good example. All the pain, it wasn't from him. He absorbed the circumstances. It was all the pain that we as human, because we live in our small ego, created. But if he had identified deeply with his body, that's what I felt. He would have felt, but he had the ability to live in another way, because he felt it. If he wanted, he felt it.
yeah, he didn't want to. Yes, but he didn't want to identify. He didn't have it in him. I think that the low frequencies that we have been exposed to. He had been working through that for many lifetimes, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But he could, because you have the ability to choose, because I have the ability to choose to be in the consciousness of my body or in another one. So this is what I have learned from Jesus. He could choose, because you this avatar, this is what you are kind of, it is telling you everything about your surroundings. This is the most intelligent technology that is. It's so precise. It tells you all about your habitat, all about the people around you. So you can take the information, but you don't need to live in it, kind of.
Talking about Jesus, you know, he wrote a book, two books actually, but A Course in Miracles. You know about this book probably.
Yeah.
Where he's giving us everything. I'm actually reading it now again. I'm in the last chapters now. It's so deep and so good, telling us about existence, about ego and about love and all these things. One of my teachers also.
Yeah, so maybe I need to read that book. I have heard a lot about it, and I completely agree what's in it. But yeah,
They say very clearly that it is written for this time here, ascension times, to help people control their mind, to not let other control our mind.
yeah. I have read a book that I really love, and it is about Richard Rohr. I think he was a priest. It is the Universal Christ, and that's also, it is, yeah. If you understand that it is a universal Christ, it is not a Christian Christ. It is not so it is the universal Christ. What he showed us. So I love that book. That's one book that I have read.
There are many good books, and no,
Yeah.
very, very one. And let me say two words about affirmations.
Yep.
Are they working or are they not working? I say yes, they are working. But my experience, you have to, if you haven't done the inner work before you start to do the affirmations on whatever, self-love or whatever, or money. Because before this money issue I told you about, I was doing affirmations on abundance and money, and
Yeah.
it was going very well, coming top of my mind. And then these things are coming up in my life.
Yeah.
But it's advisable to do the inner work before you really start with these things. That is one thing. Another thing I can tell you about is also connected to money, but in another way. You know, when I work as a therapist, I don't like to, you have to pay so and so much for this service, right? I've been thinking that it would be easier to not have that, to think about that. And actually, this is how I'm going now. I have a completely new way of getting paid, you can say, for my service. I don't work for money now. I do voluntary work for a non-profit ideal organization.
Wow.
It is me and some friends that have what you say? We have created this, but we have registered this. It's actually in Austria. It's registered, Verein. So everything is approved now, and also the bank. So when people come to me, the formal, what you say, the purpose
The purpose, yeah.
of the organization is to. We have different purposes, but one of the purposes is to educate people in what we are talking about now,
Yeah.
how to work with yourself, progress in a life, and mental and physical development. So when people want to work, okay, we do the work, and you can give a donation. You give a donation in order to how happy you are and your ability to pay. And if you say this was completely useless, you don't have to pay also.
Okay.
And I cannot take out payment from this one here. But I have an office here. The association can pay me every month, whatever, for renting, for using. I have to use this space to do the work, things like that. So it's a completely new way of.
I like it. I really like it.
I think it is how the rich guys do it. In this because and people are not clients at all. They are members.
Yeah, of course.
You be member, and then we can make our own rules. We have some framework, but inside that framework, we have very much freedom. So that's
Yeah, and maybe you can, since we are in the end, talk a little bit about Soluna, because I'm in the Soluna, and you have started it this year.
yeah. It's new. Yeah, originating from something else. And Soluna Norway. That is also a non-profit idealistic organization.
Yep.
We consist of good-hearted people that we all have a spiritual life view. You understand what's going on here.
Yep.
You understand, but we all want to do something good for the society.
Yes.
We are also aware, most of us, we are aware of the transition that the society is going through, the change.
Yeah.
Some of the old systems, most of the old systems, many of the old systems, they are not based on truth and good,
Yeah, I know.
how it should be. So some of them will collapse, and some of the things like the money systems or whatever have to change completely.
Yep.
We don't know how it will be, but we are mentally, and some of us are working also in our own ways to help in this change of the society. So
Yep.
this is a people where you can meet people with the same focus, the same interest, and also there's a special thing here in Soluna. We have, let's say, we are in position to get a lot of funds. We have applied, each one of us, not all of us, but most of us. We have the opportunity, if you would join, to apply for getting money from big funds. There are good guys out there, there are bad guys out there, and there are big funds that they say maybe it will not never happen. We cannot guarantee it, but the big funds that will be released when the time is right, so we can use it for making good projects.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity you have if you would join. Yeah, and we have a very good energy there, and we will have we are planning to meet physically at least one time per year, because we live all over Norway. Also, there's a few people from other countries, so we're open to that also. So I will say, if you're interested in this, if it sounds good to get some inspiration, we have this temamøte meeting online every month. People like me and you and people that have something to share.
Yeah.
That what is your life purpose? Things that you think will be useful, interesting for other people. You can share it in a Zoom meeting or something like this.
Yeah.
If you're interested in more about this, you can actually send a mail.
Yeah, and I will put your email and I will put the information below this podcast.
Yeah. Okay. But to that organization, it's lys@solunanorway.no.
Yes, and I will also put it under.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, that's you don't know how it will be, but it's a.
Yeah, you just started it this year, so I know that because I resonated with your energy. I go by energy, and it's like, okay, you hold the same intention, so we find each other. So if people resonate, they will find this.
Yes. And I will not go into that now, but it was not by chance. It was things unfolding that it just created itself. It had to be.
Yeah.
It's a long story behind.
I know. Yeah, it is.
And
But
it was very developing also, the story. Learned a lot through it.
Yeah, it was hard. It was a hard story. It was kind of pain, and it was, because we are people. But if we know that all that is happening is for us, as I said, I also experienced this yesterday, and I knew, even though the pain is it was protecting me. So, and also expanding me, because I'm here for a purpose, and this is kind of, and if one door is closed, it is because it will drain me or it's not good for me.
So in this Soluna, in the starter, there was some fear, I will say that. So I used this breaking free concept to really, and it was so much light on the other side.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Wow, Bjørnar, thank you so much for sharing all your life mirror, your journey, and your method and how you work, because you are so into so much. So maybe we will have to do another podcast another day.
It will be a pleasure, and it was a pleasure today, Ann-Peggy. Thank you very much for the job, the contribution you have to this world and for this podcast, giving people like me the chance to present what we would like to get out. So thank you very much for letting me come here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Divine Design podcast with Ann-Peggy Divine. Join us next Sunday for another heaven on earth unfolding conversation. With grace, reverence, and unity, may the path of your divine design light the way. From the divine in us to the divine in you.